It's the role he was born to play, himself. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times John Krasinski was awesome. For this list, we're looking at some of this actor and filmmaker's best pop culture moments. So don't expect to see Jim Halpert here, as we're excluding his film and TV performances because they deserve a list of their own. Number 10, talking about Emily Blunt on Graham Norton, The Graham Norton Show.
Oh, I was full stalker status, yeah. I was just like, hey, you want to go on a date with me?
While promoting their films A Quiet Place and Mary Poppins Returns, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt shared the couch on The Graham Norton Show, and John had nothing but wonderful things to say about his wife. The way John talks about his spouse is absolutely beautiful, and he looks at her with adoration. He talks about being a fan of hers before they met and his stunning experience watching her work for the first time.
I've never seen her work, and when you are actually in the room when she does what she does, honestly, it changes the air in the room. Everyone is just completely and totally stunned by what she does.
They joke about their possibly problematic couple name and their A Quiet Place roleplay at home. Hollywood is full of disastrous relationships that don't last, so it's so cool to see a couple that just genuinely enjoys each other's company and share a hysterical sense of humor.
Is this true? How many times have you seen Devil Wears Prada?
I mean...
Not 75.
Give or take 72. Yeah.
Number 9, acting exercises with Greg James. Greg James.
The high-level part of Glasgow Queen Street Station will be closed from Sunday, March 20th to Sunday, August 7, 2016. This will allow engineering work to take place.
John has played roles in many genres, ranging from comedies and rom-coms to action flicks, dramas, thrillers, you name it. During this interview with BBC Radio, he got to show off the full extent of that range by taking mundane excerpts and making them epic with his acting skills. After inspiring us all with an intense speech about railway construction, he somehow turns instructions on mowing your lawn into a tear-jerking speech.
For best grass collection, mow in straight lines. Don't swing the mower from side to side, and just do not overload your mower.
He got bested when trying to turn some Pitbull lyrics into a declaration of love, though. But we still think John gave the performance of his life.
80,000 people in London, Wembley. 90,000 people in Morocco, and I'm just getting warmed up. Papo, catch me with red one in stock. Oh my God, I can't even keep it. It was pretty good. Papo threw me.
Number 8, Smart Pack, Hyundai Sonata.
Wicked car, is that new?
Yeah, it's a Sonata. Let me pack it.
In this goofy 2020 Super Bowl commercial, Krasinski gets to show off his Boston accent with fellow Boston native Chris Evans, as well as comedian Rachel Dratch and Red Sox player David Ortiz. In the ad, Krasinski brags about his ability to squeeze into a tight parking spot with the assistance of his car's Smart Park feature. The others watch in awe and fawn over the impressive feat.
And I can pack it anywhere.
How about Dorchester?
Packed it. Foxborough. Packed it.
The Garden?
Packed it. Saugus? Packed it.
Swampscott?
Revere?
The Harbour?
Are you kidding me? I packed it and then unpacked it.
While the whole car parking itself thing is pretty cool, we were distracted by Krasinski's awesome accent. His exaggerated vowels not only brought humor to the commercial, but also was a cool way to poke a little innocent fun at the accent while simultaneously celebrating where he's from.
A better way to park. Only available on the all-new Sonata with Remote Smart Parking Assist.
Sorry about that, your bigness. Did you guys know he lived there? I had no idea.
Number 7, talking about turning down Captain America, Conan.
It was a big deal for me because, first of all, I love those Marvel movies. I love superheroes.
Speaking of Chris Evans, his famous role of Captain America almost went to John Krasinski first. While being interviewed by Conan O'Brien, Krasinski talked about how he did a screen test for Marvel before the role ultimately went to Evans. He even got to wear the Captain America suit. As he jokingly tells it, apparently midway through putting on the suit, Chris Hemsworth walked by in costume as Thor, and the sight of his body intimidated John right out of the character.
I was putting on the suit, just watching it. I was like, this is so amazing. And I got about right to my waist. I was still shirtless, feeling pretty good about myself. It wasn't 13 hours yet, but I felt pretty good. And all of a sudden, Chris Hemsworth walked by as Thor, and he's like, "Hey, mate." And I went, "I'm good. This is stupid."
Of course, in reality, things probably just ended up not working out. But we prefer this funnier version of the story. Number 6, Burning Questions with Ellen, The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Time and time again, John Krasinski has impressed us all with his incredible acting chops. But some of his best moments are when he's unscripted and just being himself. While on Ellen, the two play a game of burning questions where John and the talk show host give hilarious answers to some, burning questions. It's just a fun and goofy moment where he's not playing a role or reading from a script, but just being his genuinely funny self.
Ooh,
You know that
we
when
couldn't even say it.
No, because
Cotton balls.
yeah, because when you feel them.
Name a celebrity, because irrational.
Do you mean the softest things in the world scare you?
He playfully teases Ellen about her irrational fear of cotton balls, talks about his numerous experiences with naked barbecues, and, yet again, shows off that Boston accent.
Say something sexy, but do it in a Boston accent.
Barbecue.
Sexy.
Is barbecue not sexy?
No.
Okay.
No.
Naked barbecue.
Yeah.
Number 5. Word Sneak with Jimmy Fallon, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. John was so excited to play this game that he couldn't even wait to look at his cards before trying to sneak a word in. As Fallon explains it, the point of this game is to have a completely normal conversation and attempt to sneak in random words that have nothing to do with that conversation.
No, I've never used a loofah.
No. I have.
No, because a loofah is for cleansing, right? It's for getting, getting yourself clear of things. And, I think, for me, prune juice just does that the best. No, that just gets...
John and Jimmy cannot stop cracking up as they try to sneak increasingly ridiculous words into normal conversation. As we said, John has had some majorly entertaining roles, but it's always awesome to watch him exhibit his natural sense of humor.
I've been watching TV for my whole life, whether it's, All in the Family, Perfect Strangers. I mean, Jim was based on Baccalaureate Tartmus. Yeah.
Number 4, Cutscenes with James Corden, The Late Late Show with James Corden.
For years, our careers, we've had the opportunity together to star in some of the greatest motion pictures in history.
I think so.
The movie business can be pretty cutthroat. Roles get cut down, actors get fired, and sometimes great scenes get left on the cutting room floor. Well, on his talk show, James Corden reveals that he and John have actually been starring in hit films together for decades. They are the greatest acting duo we've never seen because they have been cut from these famous films every time.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the coke?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
No, you can't handle the truth! No, you can't handle the truth!
You've never been able to handle truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Truth is not something you can handle!
In a segment, John and James reenact some of their lost masterpieces, including A Few Good Men, Gone with the Wind, Pulp Fiction, and Into the Woods. It really looked like they had great fun portraying farcical versions of themselves as terrible actors, ruining some of the most famous movie scenes of all time.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Number 3, Christmas Prank War, Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Come on!
John Krasinski is most well known for playing the master prankster Jim Halpert on The Office, but who knew he was such an expert prankster in real life too? For years, John has had a vicious Christmas prank war going with his friend and former neighbor Jimmy Kimmel, during which they would take turns each year pranking each other during the holidays.
Oh, I see what's gonna happen here.
Do you? Yeah!
On one episode of Jimmy's show, John reveals that he actually stole Jimmy's turn and hit him with an onslaught of pranks one year. But Kimmel did not take it lying down.
That is your real address, and we posted them all over town today.
The long-standing war between them is so epic, they'll hopefully be kind enough to continue sharing it with all of us, even if they're no longer neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have one other thing for you also. One other little surprise.
It's awesome to get a sneak peek behind the curtain as to who Krasinski is in real life. Jim Halpert is an amateur. Number 2, Lip Sync Battle with Anna Kendrick. Lip Sync Battle.
Here, mouthing the words to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye, Mr. John Krasinski.
As it turns out, Krasinski isn't just a great actor, he is a triple threat. He can act, dance, and sing. Or lip sync anyway. In an epic lip sync battle with Anna Kendrick, John holds nothing back. He's able to wow everyone with his marionette dance imitating the music video dance for NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. That, combined with some classic boy band moves, really brought the crowd to its feet. As if that wasn't show-stopping enough, he doubles down and shocks everyone with a revealing performance of Tina Turner's Proud Mary, sparkly dress and all. We'll just say it, he was robbed. 1. I love when celebrities have glow-ups like John Krasinski. 2. I love when celebrities are actually talented and funny in real life like John Krasinski. 3. I like when they actually seem like they're genuinely good people like John Krasinski. So, all this to say, I wish him the best in all his future endeavors, and I cannot wait to see what he cooks up next. In the meantime, though, let's look at some honorable mentions, and then we'll see our pick for the time John Krasinski was the most awesome. Not quite the sexiest man alive. The Ellen DeGeneres Show.
No, I didn't even know that actually, because as your producer was describing where I was in the magazine, she was like, sort of in the back, like back, and then like back, and I was like in the appendix? Like where, was I the honorable mention?
Playing Never Have I Ever, BuzzFeed celeb.
Any kids movie? Definitely The Lion King, Frozen, cried in that. At Olaf.
Boston Accent School with Stephen Colbert. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
What's the tip to do a good Boston accent? Because I can do
Stay
smart
casual.
talk. What?
Stay casual.
Stay casual?
Yeah, because people, when they do a Boston accent, they're like, haven't yet, Cap-Pack. And you're like, all right, now do it with 20% the energy.
Performing Brown University's Baccalaureate address. Brown University.
The truth can almost seem too simple. But the simple truth is, the program you ran here is the same program. Just run it again, and again, and again. That's what I know.
Trying to convince a London customs agent that he was married to Emily Blunt. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and he says, who are you visiting here? I said, my wife. And he says, is she an actress? And I said, yeah. He said, would I know her? And I don't know, man. Her name's Emily Blunt. He goes, you?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, a news show dedicated entirely to good news. Some good news.
Welcome to SGN. John, what is SGN? That's a good question. For years now, I've been wondering, why is there not a news show dedicated entirely to good news?
Doesn't it seem like the news always manages to only focus on the negative things going on in the world? Especially in 2020, the news has felt like an endless barrage of negativity. To counter that, John decided to create his own news series in March dedicated to highlighting only good news.
In a public call of desperation, the word went out that what these heroes needed more than anything were supplies. And the entire world answered the call.
On the web series, he's reunited with the likes of his old castmate Steve Carell, talked to a girl that survived cancer, and surprised a Hamilton fan with a sing-along from the cast. Of course, it's important to keep up on current affairs, which aren't always pleasant. But with some good news, John Krasinski reminds us that even in such difficult times, there is always a way to find optimism and hope.
AT&T reached out and asked how they could help. Having no idea what I was talking about, I said, maybe you could cover the cell phone bills of every nurse and doctor in America for a month. Their response? How about 3?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.